I don't believe in it, but I take evolution as the best theory towards how.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20 and you believe in evolution.
I don't believe in it. I
All
take
right.
it as the best explanation
Best explanation. And why is it the best explanation?
because it makes sense to me,
Okay.
and I've seen through my. I haven't seen evidence of it, but I've seen things that would support it. I've
Okay.
seen things-
So, evolution is a process,
yes,
and the process is driven by what causes?
spontaneous mutation, natural selection, and selective preference.
Okay. So the first life that came from matter and became alive, obviously, is a different field of scientific investigation called abiogenesis, right? Right. Sure. So you can't use any of your causation. What about origination of matter? You can't use evolution for that either. So now let's start with the very beginning. Why does something exist rather than nothing?
I don't know.
That's not a good enough answer. There is an answer.
How would I ever know?
Oh? What's your name?
Nathan,
Nathan. I'm Mansur.
nice to meet you.
I don't know is the wrong answer because there is a right answer and you don't know the right answer. So in the exams, when I have 10 questions and I say I don't know to all of them, I'm just simply saying I don't know the right answer. So you haven't got the right answer. So there is a right answer. So let me ask you again, how would you know?
How would I know?
Yeah, because you don't know, meaning you don't know the right answer, which there is a right answer. How would you know?
So I wouldn't be able to know the right answer
Why not?
because there's no way logistically for me to know the answer.
So there are ways we can know.
Yes.
Yeah. So you believe in evolution, even though
I do not believe in it. Take
you
it
believe as the best explanation, even though we haven't observed any evolution as it's described, because it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you consider it to be the best explanation. It didn't stop you from saying, I don't know. You said it's the best explanation. So when it comes, this universe, its origin, you can also provide the best explanation for it, rather than saying, I don't know. So what is the best explanation? It came from absolute nothingness, or it came from something that is really powerful, intelligent, conscious? What's the best explanation?
The best explanation, I'm just saying, as a devil's advocate, what would make a creator as a concept better than the explanation of evolution? What would be
You're not understanding the way we are discussing them.
explained?
Evolution is, you said, is the best explanation as far as you are aware. Fine. Instead of saying I don't know,
Yes.
you chose a best explanatory model. A best explanatory model. The question I asked you about why does something exist rather than nothing, instead of saying I don't know, you can also provide the best explanatory models. So I give you two models of explaining. What's the best explanation? Nothingness generated this universe, or something did, and that something is powerful, conscious, and something that is, intelligent. We can then analyze that. Just like you can analyze your best explanation of the evolution, and you gave certain things about, how mutation, selection pressures, what there is to do with natural selection. You can bring all of these examples to illustrate why this is the best explanation. So, what is the best explanation about this universe coming from being here rather than nothing? Out of these two possibilities, which one makes sense?
To me,
Yeah, best explanation.
as evolution came from a scientific premise, it came from the idea that we don't really know anything for certain, and that this is the current best explanation that we have for it. It hasn't been falsified. No one has proved it wrong in the scientific method.
Really? Anyway, carry on. This is why it's very dogmatic. It's been pushed forward in our schools and our colleges. You said you are 20-something, right? This is precisely, in our conversation now it's coming through. It's dogmatism that's saying, do you know how it is so difficult to publish a paper in a peer-reviewed journal where everyone's an evolutionary?
I do actually know there's specific biases in the scientists.
There's a control. There's dogma and control in science. So things will change hopefully when everything becomes, open and free publications. So there are lots of now, open platforms of papers.
Sorry, can you say your name again?
Mansur. Yeah. So let's go back.
First of all, are you suggesting that religion that would put towards the idea that there's a creator is not dogmatic?
Of course it is dogmatic. I'm saying science, evolution belief is dogmatic, which people don't realize. Yeah, of course religion is dogmatic. It put forward a certain dogma and saying this is what you should believe, and if you don't believe, this is what your consequences are. So when it comes to this universe's existence, the best explanation is it came from nothing or it came from something.
Let's evaluate the consequences of looking into it. You're talking about certainty. Now, as an agnostic or atheist, you'll never really know, so you'll never really have a good life. Is that the point you're making earlier?
Absolutely not. You're now not discussing the point that I'm making now. I gave you, instead of saying I don't know, we could give best explanatory models. Nothing originated this universe, something originated in the universe. So which one seems to be a better explanation?
Why is there a dichotomy?
There could be two, it could be more. So give me your explanatory models and which one's better?
Why can't it be there's something that maybe put forward it, but it did not do it in an intentional way? Because when you say design, that suggests a purposeful activity that designed something.
The universe shows design. I can't be blind of it. You see, I'll be blind to say there is no design in the universe. So we have to be open and honest about this. Okay? There is design in the universe, whether you like it or not.
See, my position is I'm not quite sure if that's true.
So things. Okay, what is a design to? Let's really break it down.
Design for me.
What is a design?
It's a purposeful intention and activity that creates something else in order to function to a purpose. That is it.
This camera,
Yeah,
is this designed?
that camera is designed. Yes.
Okay, so without examining the designer, just examining this particular equipment, what qualities that you're going to put on the table say, these are my reasons to conclude that this is a design?
Because someone purposefully.
No, I forgot the designer. I'm not saying don't get the designer involved, because that's the dispute. The universe has a designer or not.
It's designed to take pictures.
Just looking at the equipment. So it has certain functions, okay?
So it has a lens so it can zoom in. It has this bit so it can focus. It has a stand so that it's stable.
I can see the same thing about your eye.
It's a microphone.
Eye, lens, zoom in, zoom out, and station in a body. So everything that you say applies to your eye. So why isn't that?
I would disagree with that. And this is why I would disagree with that.
Why would you disagree?
I define design as a purposeful act. So if
This has a purpose.
It has a purpose, but it's not a purposeful. My premise is evolution, right?
No. What's the design? The eye's purpose. What's the purpose of the eye? To hear?
The eye is capable.
No. What does the eye do? What's the function?
The purpose of the eye.
Not the purpose. Function of the eye.
Function.
What's the function of the camera? And what's the function of the eye?
The function of the eye is to perceive light.
And
It's to perceive light and focus light onto your retina.
it does that similar as well. And then, so what else does the eye do? And then it puts one image in your brain. Yeah. So you can zoom in and zoom out. You can see close and distance, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it has lens and you have the muscles to do that.
Yes.
So the camera is actually mimicking the function of our eye.
Yes.
So this clearly to you is a design because of that function.
Yes.
So why is it not clearly this particular thing called the eye not designed?
Because in the premise of evolution, there is no purposeful.
Excuse me.
There is no purposeful.
What's your name again? Nathan?
Nathan. There's
Don't
no-
bring evolution in.
No, because
it's
that's
the
my
equipment.
argument.
No,
That's
the
my
equipment. No,
argument.
the equipment. We're looking at a particular equipment called, I call it Zoros. This is camera, this is Zoros. Right.
that's
That
my
Zoros,
argument.
no, it's not about argument. This Zoros has a function. It does,
You're asserting that it has a function.
it doesn't have the function. You just described it. Are you denying that it doesn't have that function?
It has the function to pick up light, right?
Sorry?
It has the function to pick up light.
Not only that.
But you're
And what does it do
You're
afterwards?
asserting that the eye is designed.
No. I am asking you to define or describe what you mean by design. So let's start with the camera again. I missed it, perhaps, because with your example of the eye, you're going into different tangent. So help me out.
My example.
So this camera, by examining this equipment, it demonstrates design because of it takes in light. And then, briefly, don't go into too much science.
The eye or the camera?
The camera. Why is it you are certain it is designed?
I'm certain it's designed because someone made it.
No, I'm not interested in the designer.
I'm answering your question. I'm certain
you see-
it's designed because there's a brand.
Same argument that I earlier on discussed. You are making this logical fallacy. Did you see that one design?
Fallacy am I making?
Okay, generalization.
Generalization. So I'm assuming that this camera is made.
Did you see that made?
Is that my fallacy?
Nathan, did you see that particular piece, EOS 700D? Did you see that one made?
No, I did not.
Right. So you haven't seen it.
No.
So it's your belief based on your assumption, and the assumption comes from where? That in your everyday experience, these kind of things are manufactured, made in a factory, yeah, by Canon or Nikon or Lumix or Sony, right? Right. But you don't know anything about that.
There's no conceivable way that this camera would naturally be made.
No. This is again, you're making another logical step saying, because it's so complex, it cannot make by itself. Same argument that any theist can make, because the universe is so complex, it cannot be made by itself. So don't play this double standard. Let's examine it again. You haven't seen the maker of it. What you have at your disposal, Nathan, is this camera. You can open it up and you can see, break it up into pieces and see, look at the lenses, several lenses. The way it takes in light and then it captures and then makes an, you can actually see us talking even there, right? It's a digital. So you would say, look, can you see that? It's definitely designed, even though you haven't seen who designed it in a company called Canon, right? Imagine now, none of the writing was there in the camera, nothing. You'd still consider it's been made by someone, even though you don't know who made it. This eye, it doesn't tell you who made it. Same thing. So, what?
That's a very far comparison to compare a living being
Look,
to an
Nathan.
inanimate object.
Nathan. When we talk about design, the key components of what is a design is not that I know the designer, that's why it's designed. You don't know the designer, but you call it design. Do you understand my point? This is the key point. You don't know who designed it, but you still attribute design to it. You're confident.
I'm confident because to my own definition of what design is, I know that was made because it was made for a purpose and it fulfills that purpose.
Okay, it was made, but let's take the cause, the maker. Okay. Let's take the maker out of the equation. So the maker is there.
I can't do that
Okay.
because that's
Good.
no longer my definition.
Good.
Of design.
So there is a maker.
That is yours, not
Okay.
mine.
So there is a maker that made it. And without knowing the maker, I can still call it made because of the design inherent within it. Do you agree?
As an inanimate object, yes. Yes, you can.
No. This piece, what we call a designed piece. Without knowing the maker, but believing in it, knowing a maker made it, by examining itself, this piece, we can say it's still designed by a maker. I don't have to talk about the maker who made it, but I'm going to examine this particular piece. I am asking you to do likewise. Examine the eye. This eye, assume there is a maker. Assume there's a maker, just like you assume there's a maker for this camera. I don't have a problem if you assume there's a maker for the eye. But I'm not going to ask you to concentrate on the maker. Look at the eye itself. The eye, does it demonstrate the functioning like the camera does? Yes, it does. So, the eye demonstrates it is designed, even without me telling you who made it. Whether it was your mom and dad, whether it was Mother Nature, or it was God.
I think you committed a logical fallacy.
Tell me what have I committed? I'd like to learn.
It's a leap in logic.
What is that leap?
It's a leap in logic for you to say that because there's a design in there, and you, like taking out the fact that there's a creator, right?
I miss it totally. So tell me from the camera, if I say this camera, looking at the equipment itself, there is a maker, is that my logical fallacy that I'm making? A leap of faith saying there's a maker for this camera? Would I be actually logically making a mistake? If I said, I examine this camera and I'm certain that there is a maker, are you suggesting my conclusion that there's a maker by examining this camera is actually faulty?
I'm suggesting that to go from one place and to say that I can say that someone designed this camera.
No. My conclusion that someone made it, is that a faulty conclusion?
No, that's not a faulty conclusion.
So it's logical.
That doesn't make your argument valid.
No. Is it a logical conclusion?
It is, but that doesn't make
Good.
your argument valid.
Wait. It's a logical conclusion. So now, do you stand by that the camera is designed by a maker or the camera made itself?
The camera was obviously designed by a maker.
Obviously. You haven't even seen the maker and you're saying obviously. Where do you get this confidence from? Have you seen the maker?
I don't need to know the maker to know that someone made this camera.
Think about this. You don't need to know the maker to conclude and to believe and to accept that this is a maker. Why?
To say that the camera is the same as my eye, though, is...
I didn't say it's the same as your eye. I see your eyes are better.
You said just now.
I'm saying your eyes are better designed.
Okay, but you just said they have...
Sorry? What have I said?
You just said just now that the design function is very similar.
Similar functions, but your eyes
you're
better.
You're saying that because I can conclude that this camera has a maker, it's the same way I can conclude that my eye has a maker.
So if someone concludes that the eye which seems designed, like the camera which seems designed, and we make this logical conclusion, so the eye must be designed by a designer, a maker, isn't that a logical conclusion?
It's a logical conclusion.
And why isn't that valid?
It's not a valid argument because even if...
No, why isn't that conclusion not valid?
Even if the answer is correct, the logical steps to get there doesn't... The logical...
Okay, where is the illogical steps in this conclusion?
Because you're saying that because I can conclude that this camera has a maker, it's the same reason that I can conclude that my eye has a maker.
Yeah, where is the logical...
And this camera is not the same thing.
No.
Not in the same category.
No, you missed the point. I'm not talking about the camera or the eye, I'm talking about the design function. So when I examine the design function, it could have been instead of a camera, a microwave, for example, right? When I examine this piece and I look at that it's actually put in together to a particular function, and it does it. Look at the eyes, look at your brain, your ears, your lungs, your heart, your kidneys, your liver, whatever. Everything seems designed. So why am I at fault in concluding that there is a designer for my liver, for my lungs, for my heart, for my kidneys? Why am I at fault logically?
Because organic matter, you're comparing organic matter to inorganic matter.
No, why does organic matter doesn't need a design and inorganic matter needs a design? Where did you get that principle from?
Evolution, that was the whole premise. That's why
think about logic.
That was the best argument.
No, think about logic again. When we look at design, whether it's organic or inorganic, what does this has to do with saying, oh, because it's inorganic, then it's not actually designed. Because it's organic, it's not actually designed. If I said, for example, this is not designed because it's organic. Yeah, I'm saying this is not designed because it's inorganic. How would you argue with me?
I would argue by saying that inorganic matter, organic matter can go under, in my explanation, and not mine, but the scientific explanation, it's capable of evolving. It's capable of evolving.
Design systems.
No, because design implies that there's an intentional action.
Isn't there intentional action to every part of your body?
Evolution is about spontaneity and random.
Nathan, does your heart here? And no, your heart, is it there to breathe in oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide? Your heart.
Is my heart there to...
Is your heart doing that job or is it your lungs?
My lungs.
So if I said your lungs have a specific intended function, is this gaseous exchange, would I be wrong?
No, you wouldn't be wrong.
Right. So why do you bring this inorganic and organic thing in?
Because you're glossing up. You know what? Thank you very much for this debate. Thank you very much. I believe we're going in circles and we're not finding.
No, you're talking about yourself, going in circles.
I believe we're going in circles.
You're only 20 years old.
Yes.
Yep. And you believe in this kind of fairy tale stories. This reason why I say fairy tale is this. You see, if I said I had no money, I had no banks, no credit cards, no cash. In my wallet, there is no money. Zilch, zero. Yep, nothing. I have no money, no friends to borrow from. You believe still, then I can give you 10 pounds. Because something can come out of nothing.
Be careful, be careful.
Because you believe something can come out of nothing.
I don't believe that. But
You don't believe that?
Thank you very
So you
much.
believe it came from something. Then we should be talking about what is that something that caused the
I don't
universe.
believe that your example is exactly representative of my
See,
argument.
look, you know what, because you have to go, you know what, read a lot more and in fact scrutinize the belief that the scientists are telling you in evolutionary books and books of the book that you read at university or in school or colleges, right? Did you know that there is a suppression of knowledge in our academic
I did actually
books?
know that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So be critical in your thinking and then you will come up to the same conclusion that we have come up to. It's not difficult to write. Take care, Nathan. Okay? All the best.
Don't